Hey everybody, we're going to give our first video a go and introduce myself. So my name is Kelly. Some of you are my friends and know me personally. Other ones are acquaintances or just people whose paths I cross. So either which way, glad to be here. Glad to know all of you. A little bit about me. For those of you who know me, you know that I've been through a whole lot in my life. Good, bad, and indifferent. And now I'm on my journey on my second master's degree in social work. First master's degree was wrong. I do plan on becoming a doctor one day, but one thing I can say is that besides my book knowledge that I've gained over the years, I also have a ton of on-the-job experience, as well as my own personal experiences with a lot of stuff that the people that I try to help go through. So I definitely think life experiences is definitely probably one of the most important aspects to my knowledge, really, even more so than all my book smart. So I'm going to share a little experience that I had went through on my journey about 12 years ago, starting my bachelor's degree in psychology and social work. And I got to say, I was around 33 years old and I really had no direction, had no idea what I wanted to do. Started out my bachelor's degree, and everybody's like, you need to find a specialization, you need to focus on one thing, you skip around too much, you try too much, focus on one area. I couldn't tell you how many people I heard this from, right? And I always felt like, gosh, for many years, I was always trying to find that place, the place where I belonged. And I was never able to find that. And I always felt like I was searching for something. About my second year in on my bachelor's degree, I was taking a philosophy class. And I had one of those moments that I think are on my journey towards self-actualization, those what they like to call aha moments. Maybe had 2 or 3 of these in my lifetime. And I gotta say, each time it was almost like I went from black to white, to left to right. Everything was in conundrums. My head would spin in, my world would spin in, and I had these massive realizations that are like, almost like, wow. In one sense, it brings you so present and you're so aware, but in the same regard, it also knocks you right back down and you realize, hey, I'm really at the bottom and this is nowhere and I still have so much further to go. So my experience was, I was reading my philosophy book and, just engaging in the chapters, and I ran across this term called synoptic philosophy. Synoptic philosophy is basically, they're philosophers who tend to see patterns. So it's like they're looking up kind of from like an above, like a godly stance, where they can see all down below, Synoptic philosophers tend to see patterns. They're almost like if they're looking down into a garden, they're noticing all of the plants, but not the details on those plants. Synoptic philosophers tend to focus on not one subject. They want to know a little bit about a lot of things, and they never really master in anything. Well, reading this chapter, it was like really profound. And I had one of those experiences where my world went around and around, and I had such a crazy realization that was so profound, but yet so simple. It was that all of this time I've been looking for something to master in, something to specialize in, something to be an expert in. And I was never finding that. And I always was trying new things. Those who know me know I've been a flight attendant, a teacher, mental health, counselors, customer service, bartenders, waitresses. I mean, I pretty much tried just about every job. And it's almost like narrowing it down, right? Well, I was always searching for that one thing that I was going to be good at or that I was going to specialize in. But it was right at that moment when reading that synoptic philosophy that I realized, wow, this is my place. My place is like a synoptic philosopher, right? My place is actually that I don't have a place. And that's okay. And that's what it's meant to be. So in one sense, it was like, wow, I had this profound knowledge and self-insight. And I felt so good because for so long I was searching for that one thing, right? But in the same regard, I realized I'm not meant for one thing. I'm meant to learn a lot about different topics, and I'm meant to connect those patterns. So in the same regard, it was like such a profound insight, but in the same regard, it was like knocks me right down to being humbled, and realizing that, hey, it's okay to really not know what I want to do. in the same regard, that makes me really glad that I went into social work, because I do feel like social work does allow me to work in mental health, counseling, advocacy, policy. I would love to be a lobbyist. I read about it, and then all of a sudden I was like, nope. When I heard how they get paid off and bought off and all that, I was like, yeah, politics is not for me. But definitely feel like advocating for people, especially the underdogs and the people that need help, and really just being a voice for people and being able to engage with the world in lots of different ways. I do think social work will allow me to do that. So with that being said, this is my first and introductory video, but I'm going to start posting a little bit more about my life and what brought me here, and then we'll start getting into the specific topics and life lessons that I've learned over the years. I hope everybody is outside enjoying this beautiful day today, because it is like perfect out. If you notice, I am in a graveyard, because in the last few months, I would say that I've been like a phoenix reborn. Went through probably one of the darkest times of my life, but I actually, not having anything or anyone at that moment, I never felt more free. So been meditating, found my path, totally inspired by my classes, clinical psych and neuroscience. Definitely plan on becoming a doctor one day and specializing in anything with the brain, and hoping to help veterans and really just anybody else who has a lot of trauma in their life. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and hopefully we'll get to know each other better. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.